Man, oh man, the bees are flying today. Okay, this hive right here, there was nothing last week in the honey supers. Nothing. They weren't even touching the honey supers. They didn't even draw out any comb. And so then last week I thought it was kind of late. It was like June 7th or something like that. I decided to go ahead and put it in a Demaree configuration, thinking that it was kind of late in the season, but what the heck, I got nothing to lose. And in 1 week, like, they've already started to draw. Like, most of these frames are like drawn out. This is what they did in 1 week. That's just like since I put it in the Demaree configuration. So they did a really nice job on this. That Demaree, they wouldn't come up into that top super. So then by placing that honey super between the two deep boxes, that forces the bees to put it in the honey super. And I mean, that's all drawn out. There is like nothing. So this one's working out pretty good, and I think I don't know, I might like Demaree this one next to me. It's kind of in the same situation. I might Demaree that one, even though we're getting into like mid-June. Right here, this hive, this setup right here, it's doing nothing for me because this hive actually swarmed. I had a lot of hope for it, but I noticed last week that it swarmed, and there was like 3 or 4 queen cells in here that had already hatched. So there's something going on in here, and queens are fighting it out. So what I'm going to do is, this is a good time of the year, for a good reason, to just do some splits, because this hive's not going to make me any honey. I can use it for other things like splits, building comb, and that sort of thing. So if I have queens in here, I'm going to take those queen cells, I should say, in here. I'm going to take those out, and I'm going to split this and make myself some new hives. And it's only June 14th, 15th, so they're going to have all summer and into fall to build up. Okay, so I got myself a queen cell, but I didn't get it out of the Demaree hive. I got it out of the hive that actually swarmed. 2 frames of eggs in here. I got a frame of honey, a frame of pollen, and then I got the frame with the queen cell on it. So hopefully this top box will turn into a split, and hopefully like this bottom section, hopefully they'll have a new queen, and I might even get another split off of this box. It's early in the season, so the downside is I'm not going to get the honey, but the upside is I can, this is now kind of like a resource hive for me. That's heavy. Let's see what kind of honey these bees are making me. Nearly capped. %50 capped. Top box is looking good. It's almost capped. I should be able to take it off maybe in a week. The bottom box, it's got a ways to go. Might be one of my end of summer boxes. Let's real quick take a look at this Demaree hive. Sun's going down on me real fast. Honey supers look like it. This top supers, it looks like it's almost completely pulled with comb, and they're starting to cap it off. Okay, this Demaree hive's doing okay. These 2 supers here, I suppose by the end of summer I'll have two full supers. It's just not going to be a good flow. I just got to admit that. So what I want to do is I want to check this hive right here. This one is just a regular configured hive. It's not a Demaree or anything like that. It's just two brood chambers and then 2 supers. And then I want to check this over here. This was my mean, nasty, aggressive nuke that basically harassed me all summer long, all spring. And then I had to break it down into 1, 2, 3. I broke this down into 5, 6 different nukes, actually. So I want to check that real quick to see what's going on with that. Okay, this nuke right here was one of the splits that I did off of my mean, nasty, aggressive hive this year. And I mean, that was only a couple weeks ago, and it's actually built up, and you can see that it's building all this comb. And I mean, they're building comb big time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do like an easy walk away split. It's going to be like a real simple split. I have all summer to work on this and into the fall. So all I'm going to do is smoke this up. And I don't even know which one has the queen. I'm not worried about it right now. This was just kind of like a quickie. This is probably like the world's quickest, fastest split. I'll come out here again in a couple days and I'll go through these hives. I don't even know if this one even has any. I don't know which one has eggs in it. So I mean, I'm thinking that they both probably do. That's why I did it this way. But I'll come out here in a couple days and check and see what's going on. If one of them needs the eggs, I'll put some eggs in there. Okay, so after a few adult beverages and a good night's sleep, I've decided to go ahead and I'm going to Demaree this production hive, and I'm going to Demaree that production hive there. Because if you remember in my video, I told you about this hive right here. That one there, right here, had nothing in the honey supers, and I wrote it off as it's going to be a loss. It's not going to give me anything this year. And then just for the heck of it, last week I decided to Demaree this, and when I did, in 1 week, it almost filled that honey super. So now I got 2 supers on it. So I thought, why not try to Demaree this one? Maybe it'll give me something, and maybe that one there as well. You know, who knows? It might work out for me. So I've got nothing to lose. And then if I want to do splits and whatever with it later on, after I harvest my honey in a few weeks, I can do all the splits and everything that I want. So to me, that makes sense to at least give it a shot. But before I do that, I got to do some things with this box that swarmed on me. This one right here. So if you remember yesterday, I told you that this hive swarmed. So in this top box, I decided to split this. So in this top box, I put eggs and I put queen cell in here. What I need to do now is I need to go in and take this queen excluder out, and then I'm going to put this double divider in there. So basically, that's going to just actually make this top box then would be its own nuke at that point, or its own brood chamber at that point. So that's what I need to do next. Okay, let's get these Demarees finished. These bees are doing nothing in the honey super. I mean, they're not even touching it. So maybe this Demaree will help. First thing I need to do is shake everything down into the bottom box. Everything. All the bees in the bottom box. They got brood, so this is going to be a nice hive, but it's going to be a nice hive after the honey flow. Don't you hate that when you get bees up the pant leg? But basically what I did, I shook everything down into the bottom box. I can't, like, I'm gonna set this up in a Demaree configuration, but like almost every frame has eggs on it, or larvae, or like a capped brood or something. So like, I can't even really do the entire like Demaree. So what I'm going to do is just get it set up and then come back maybe in a week and look at it again to see if I can actually rotate some frames out. I did manage to get 2 empty frames of comb down in here, so I mean she does have something to lay on. I mean even though there's eggs on everything or brood on everything, she does have room to lay in the bottom box. One Demaree down, 1 to go. This is another case of a hive that's going to look really good after the flow. More brood, more brood. Okay, so there you have it. That's 2 Demaree hives put together in, I don't know, an hour probably. I mean, it wasn't that bad. If you want to know more about Demaree hives, YouTube Keith Jardine Swarm Prevention. He has a really nice video on Demaree hives, and in that video he says like that the Demaree hives, they're not that bad once they're set up, and there is truth to that so far. Like I've only done like 7 or 8 Demarees so far, but every time I do one, they seem to get a little bit easier. I'm starting to, at first I was confused doing them, but now they're pretty easy to put together. But once they are put together, putting them together is the hard part. Once they're put together, then it's pretty easy to just like manipulate the Demaree hives like through their cycles that you would do like every week or maybe every 2 weeks. But I don't know what both of these hives. This hive here, this is the one I just demarried, and I demarried this one. They both of these queens quit laying right around in May, whenever we had that real cold. It wasn't cold, but it was a lot of rainy weather, and they just quit laying. And I actually thought both of those hives were queenless at one point, and I almost gave up on them. I just said, so I'm done with this. I don't have time to deal with these hives. And then a week later, they started laying and filled these boxes up with eggs and brood. But now, I mean, we're already like June 15th, and you know, I got maybe like 3 more weeks of the flow, and by the time these colonies are mature, the flow is going to be over. So I'm just hoping that maybe these Demarees, maybe having this box here, this single brood chamber management configuration, maybe that'll help me capture some honey before the flow's over. But this one here, this is the one that swarmed on me. This one, I had a lot of hope for this one, and it swarmed. So then I did the split on it. So put the double screen divider in there, hoping that I get a split out. And I'll probably, it's early in the season, so I may end up splitting it again. This is my Demaree. This was my mean, nasty This one right here. This was my mean nasty hive. It was my resource hive. Now it's actually queenless right now. I put some eggs in there yesterday, hoping that they make a queen. I don't know what's going to happen to them. All I know is it's nice now that I can actually shoot a video and mow the grass without. I was actually worried that somebody was going to get stung up real bad off of this hive, so I split it into, I don't know, 5 or 6 different nukes. And here's 2 of those nukes that I split, and I also split these off of that hive, and I gave them new queens, so they got nice queens in them now. This one right here, this is also my Demaree. Actually no, it's not a Demaree. It's just a regular 2 brood chambers, just regular configurement. But it's doing, actually this one's doing better than any of my hives. So anyway, that's it for me. I got my beekeeping done. It took me 2 days this week to do it, but I got it all done. I got 5 Demarees, and actually I got 6 production hives now. I don't know, 2 of them, I don't know what they're going to do, but at least, you know, there's a little bit of hope that they could give me something. But I got to mow grass now at the apiary, and I'm Darren, I'm the Pennsylvania beekeeper, and I will see you next time.